wrapped up in my sleeping bag, looking out the window at Aaron's house as the sun is beginning to creep over the horizon. And the trees are silhouetted black against the emerging blue sky with the fading stars up in the sky. And I think to myself how much I hate Aaron because he's got it fucking made with this fantastic house of his, this nice little piece of property tucked away out in the backwoods of South Dakota. God, I fucking hate him. I hope he dies. I hope he dies of syphilis. You piece of shit.
What is important to help you younger kids, because once again, the older people have pissed away their lives and the condition you have put the United States in. Really, don't trust anyone over 30. Like, what happened when we trusted boomers and any successive generation after they were 30? Oh, we got fat dudes who can get pregnant. Yeah. Fat, loud, black lesbians in every one of our video games and heroes. We got Lizzo. You just shouldn't. Yes, we should have every illegal alien here and pay for their welfare. Take a look at Minnesota. It's absurd. Men are bad because they have penises. Oh my god, kill them all. And when you come into I'm here. What do I do now? You would look as we all did when we were younger, like, wow, what institutions, what industries, what entities would I like to be a part of? And at one time we say, oh wow, like the best movies are made in Hollywood. The best financiers are in Wall Street. The best, I don't know, downtown is where all the action, you got to work, you got to get a good job, good career, and all that. And one of the main things, especially, was I don't know if you noticed this, everybody over 30 from the boomers on was telling you about this thing called college. You must go to college. And only the best of the best could get into what they call the Ivy League, your Harvards, your Stanfords, and all this. And it was. I am old enough. I remember when women were thin, no one had tattoos, and if you got to Harvard or Stanford or like that was serious. That was like, oh wow, that meant something. But like every other institution, it's only as good as the adults who populate and manage and lead it. And like Disney and like Wall Street and like white collar work and the big four, there's another one, the big four. All these prestigious institutions have gone to shit. This is not new. Last year, Harvard's president was an affirmative action hire piece of shit, lying Marxist socialist. You hired her because she was black and she had a vagina. That's it. Why? Because current popular thing. And turned out, I guess she was not embezzling. What was she? Was it academic fraud, plagiarism, or something like that? Enough that she was dethroned from the presidency, but they couldn't fire her. And all that, I don't know if you pay attention to Harvard or all there's studies show, research suggests socialist bins and assholes in Harvard say we need more of other people's money. Like it's not even, maybe there were some really interesting observations in philosophy, technological advancement, whatever. Not anymore. A Harvard MBA means nothing. It means nothing. Harvard degree now, like if you graduate, say like 1998, okay, wow, okay, Harvard degree, that means something. You actually earned it. If you got a Harvard degree, I'd say like the past 10 years, about as worthwhile as the dollar. It's been diluted, it's inflated away. The problem with the Ivy League, especially all of our previously famous institutions, is over enough time, the people in power there, the people, and which is fine, someone's got to be in power. People heading it up, people staffing it. They not only let the Nepo babies in, where you got Hollywood. You wonder why movies are shit. It's not just the politics. It's like, well, you hired your children, you hired your cousins, and they have no talent, and it's shit. It's absolute shit. Same thing happens in the Ivy League, where you get nepotism and cronyism. Oh, surprise, housing bubble. But then they also go with current popular thing because they don't want to work. They just want to do current popular thing. Hate straight white dudes in America. We need more socialism. I'm good at current popular white thing. ESG, AI, bro. Right? Has anyone at the Harvard School of that's where the MBAs come from? Do you guys know anything aside from cut costs and AI, bro? Has there been any new developments in business management? So it was going to decay anyway, right? Was it the Heinleinian cycle? You do really good times. Really good times create soft people. Soft people create the shitbergs you guys hire now and let into your school. And now it's a joke. I don't say that lightly. Like, you do not, unless they graduate before 2000, fine, hire all the Ivy League graduates you want. But after 2000, fuck that shit. And here's why. From Reason Magazine, why are 38% of Stanford students saying they're disabled? It's funny where you don't even have to read the article. Oh, did you read the article? I don't have to. Let me guess. A bunch of privileged assholes who mommy and daddy or the government paid for. No one worked. I don't care if you're rich or poor. Did the government or someone else pay for your shit? Who were raised by teachers who are Marxist, leftist, socialist retards who get off on giving everybody a disadvantage or disability, lied to them and said, oh my God, you have the social anxieties, you got the autisms, you got the Ritalin. You got the depressions. You got a bunch of weak, pampered, spoiled, rich kids. I don't care trust fund baby or government. Rich kids who didn't have to work, who have no problems, and to differentiate themselves from everybody else. Let me guess, how many of these are also not straight, right? How many of them are not straight? How many of them are Bulbasaur sexual? How many of them just the cool little edgy thing? Oh, I got my designer mental illness and my designer sexual preference. Oh my God, I'm so unique. No, you're a fucking moron who can't do math. Wow. You're telling me when we let the kids go and get educated by teachers in the United States who are not teachers, they're Marxist, socialist, Democrat agents who are mentally ill in their own right and got their little fucking, oh my God, I'm going to go get his junk cut off. I'm so, hey, you want to sleep together? Admittedly, that's not all teachers. I'll grant you that. But you are all, for the most part, Marxist, leftist, socialist propagandists. That's it. And the current thing is to go and be, oh, I'm disabled. I'm disabled. Do you guys remember the IT crowd skit? Well, I use surprise almost 40% of God's little children at Stanford. Is Stanford an Ivy League? I think it is. That's in California, right? Why are 38% of Stanford students saying they're disabled? Because you trained them to be. Because you trained them. If you get into an elite college, you probably don't have a learning disability. The students at America's elite universities are supposed to be the smartest, most promising young people. No, they're just the softest. That's all. They're just the softest. The Ivy League means nothing now. I would rather hire a kid out of high school and train him myself. I wouldn't touch an Ivy League graduate. I don't even mean like career, right? Or if I ran a business or something like that. Like if I find out, oh, you're a college graduate from Harvard, like we were going to like date or hang out, like no. Don't invite the Harvard kid. Yeah, I don't want Mr. Fucking, I got the social anxieties and I need my Ritalin. I get him the fuck out of here. I don't need to see David Hogue. I don't need to see him. And yet, shocking percentages of them are claiming academic accommodations designed for students with learning disabilities. Oh, it's to take academic accommodations, like lowering the standards. I wonder if they're going to be America's best and brightest when they graduate. In an article published this week in the Atlantic, education reporter Rose Horowitz lays out some shocking numbers. At Brown and Harvard, 20% of undergraduate students are disabled. At Amherst College, it's 34%. At Stanford University, it's a galling 38%. Most of these students are claiming mental health conditions and learning disabilities like anxiety, depression, and ADHD. I fucking hate you teachers so much. I can't. I can't. Aaron, you're going to be 51 pretty soon. I got to become the wise Eastern philosopher monk in the temple, and understand that if you teachers and parents who allowed it didn't lie to these kids, I would have to get a real job. I have to be thankful that 38% of Ivy League trust fund babies think they have a mental illness. I must appreciate, because if one generation of parents were to raise their kids correctly, then I would have to get a real job. Asshole consulting, I should, like Christians pray at the dinner table and thank God for the food. I should be thankful that you teachers and parents are so evil. Dear God in heaven, thank you for the boomer Gen X and now millennial parents who are failing to raise their children properly. If it were not for thine infinite bounty of misdiagnosing their children with mental disorders they do not have, or propagandizing them to immediately and unconsciously take a disadvantage and claim victimhood in regard that is not authentic, so that they might get lower standards in an easier life, but apply these lower standards in easier life to their real life so that they fail in the real life and then are desperate and come seeking for real guys. Dear Lord in heaven, thank you for your bountiful mercy. Amen. Obviously, something is off here. The idea that some of the most elite selective universities in America, schools that require 99th percentile SATs and Sterling essays, would be educating large numbers of genuinely learning disabled students is clearly bogus. A student with real cognitive struggles is much more likely to end up in community college or not in higher education at all, right? The professor's Horowitz. Well, you misspelled Horowitz. Is it Horowitz or Horowitz? Which one is it? Interviewed largely back up this theory. You hear students with disabilities, and it's not kids in wheelchairs. One professor told Horowitz, oh God. It's just not. It's rich kids getting extra time on tests. Talented students get to college, start struggling, and run for a diagnosis to avoid bad grades. Ironically, the very schools that cognitively challenged students are most likely to attend community colleges have far lower rates of disabled students, with only 3 or 4% of such students getting accommodations. It's because they're more practical. Look, college, okay, in general, another one of these institutions that is gone is college. College is a joke. Thank God it took you Americans a quarter century to realize this, but thank God 2/3 of you are finally realizing that college is not worth it. Okay. But like the big four, the accounting industry at the big four, there's still some diehards. I don't know how, but there's still this remnant percentage of accounting majors that got to get into the big four, or finance majors think they got to get into not Silicon Valley, Wall Street, although more minor getting into Silicon Valley, but that's collapsed too. It's the media, right? Oh, I'm going to become a journalist. Who the fuck wants to work for CNN? I think it was an interview with Connie Chung, and she's an older, reputable, old school 80s gal journalist. And she was talking about how, like, there is no journalism anymore and everything's a lie. Oh, really, lady? It happened under your watch. Yeah, but the CBS, NBC, the nightly news, CNN, Fox News, it's all, no one pays attention to it anymore because you all lied. These institutions are failing. These institutions mean nothing. And at the end of the day, you can't come in here. Look, the schmooze decades are over. I got an MBA, we're going to smooth talk, we're going to use fancy language. Oh, yes, you've got to leverage our synergy, use the DEI. It's over. Because at the end of the day, like, I think the millennials might be the ones who are finally waking up. You know, like Darth Vader finally got, like, it took a while, took almost to the end, but you started realizing who the emperor was, and he was a bad guy. And maybe you were lied to this entire time, because you can't load an entire generation with all lies, right? Just all lies. It has to practically work in the real world. And when all your institutions that presumably would provide your guidance and leadership, or at least what to do and structure, it was all a lie, yeah, you're going to abandon them. And certainly the reputations mean. Do you remember when they're a banker, they're a lawyer. Oh, that's prestigious. lawyers and doctors. Well, doctors still do shit. Lawyers, washed up liberal arts majors who couldn't find a job with their worthless degrees that decided to go to law school and also now can't find jobs. They're just $300,000 in debt. That's all you're seeing. The Ivy League, you Americans are really dumb and slow. It takes you a quarter century to figure out worthless degrees are bad. It might be where I'd like to see we get to the point before I die where the Ivy League and the common man on the street goes, those idiots. Like I remember when it actually meant something, right? I'd like to see that. I mean, inevitably it's coming, right? You can't be fake posers and weak, sad sacks of shit. Like apparently, whatever, 30% on average are going to the Ivy League. And all your whatever, because they inevitably go, quote, lead the world, and you cause housing crises and .com bubbles and poverty and outsourcing, bro, and AI, bro. Like you can't come out and the country turns out worse because of your leadership. And then that school still have those group of schools still have a reputation. Like, no, just get the fuck out of here. But are you guys, do you realize this? Do you realize the Ivy League? Like, back in the day, oh my God, Ivy League, you must be smarter than me. No, you just have more connections. Chances are you're lazier. Listen to me. The kids in community college are superior to the Ivy League graduates because at least the community college kids are honest. They're based in the real world. The Ivy League, get the fuck out of here. Like, really, if you're in the Ivy League, unless you're like MIT and you're going to you're working on nuclear fusion or something like that. Get the fuck out of here. I got a Harvard MBA. Oh, so your condoms are that big. Fuck you. Just fuck you. And it'd be fine if you just fucked off and did your thing, but you're not. You're all leaders. Oh my God. Blah, blah, blah. And you keep crashing the economy. You don't do anything practical or good. And now I wonder if that's going to continue. It is. To be fair, some of the students receiving those accommodations do need them. The one in the Ivy League. The current language of the American Disabilities Act allows students to get expansive accommodations with little more than a doctor's note. Oh, here we go. See, this is affirmative action for white people. Let me explain my theory. It's not a theory, it's true. If you are Black or Hispanic or some other race, you can visually be identified, right? Oh, that guy's Asian. That guy's Black. That guy's brown, Hispanic, Indian, whatever, right? So you say, oh my goodness, the discriminations. Oh my goodness, I doth do declare, Beauregard, I have become a Southern belle debutante who needs his fair fainting couch. Dude, Jerome, you're a Black dude. But I do need the affirmative actions. I have been oppressed, good sir. Right, you can do that because visually I can see that. You're a woman, okay? Visually we can tell. What if you're a white guy or a white kid, right? Where, okay, we can see, but you don't have no disability. And you can't have a disability because you're white, right? Because you're the evil people. Especially if you're a dude. Oh. Should we shoot him now or wait till we get home? Unless there's two things the Democrats allowed for you, so you could play this fucking lazy parasitic victim game. Well, I doth do declare I have a touch of the tisms. Or, oh my God, I think I'm not the straights. Which is insulting to people who actually are not straight, gay, bi, whatever, and people who actually have mental illness, because how do we prove it? And that's what's going on here. Now, let's say you're an Asian gal. Oh my God, I'm female and Asian. Anybody can, you could double up. You get the multiplier effect. You can have base level disadvantages, minority traits, physical traits, but you can always add, right? It's like a chocolate ice cream with jimmies and sprinkles. Then you get whipped cream. Oh, and I'm mentally disabled. And then you put a cherry on top and I'm gay, right? So then you can, oh my God, then you get a lot of accommodations. But mostly, I'm sure if we looked at it, it's mostly white kids. Oh my God, I got this sadness. I listen to Billie Eilish, and oh my God, I can't study sociology here over at whatever gay universities in Connecticut. What is there one in Connecticut? Is there an asshole school in Connecticut? I don't know. While some students no doubt seek these accommodations as semi-conscious cheaters, I think most genuinely identify with the mental health condition they're using to get extra time on tests. Yeah, because they've been told. Over the past few years, there's been a rising push to see mental health and neurodevelopment conditions as not just a medical fact, but an identity marker. Will Lundstrom, the director of the Regis Center for Learning Disorders at the University of Georgia. Oh my God, you kids wonder why your tuition is so damn high. There's a Regis Center for Learning Disorders at the University of Georgia. What the fuck? Told Horowitz that he sees a growing number of students with this perspective. It's almost like it's part of their identity. It is their identity. Look, teachers spend 3 times the amount of time with their kids than you parents do. And I know you parents don't love your kids. That's why you outsource them to teachers. You don't check the shit that these teachers send them back to them within their backpack. Okay. They've been telling black people, oh, you're oppressed. Oh my God, don't do anything. Sit here. The Democrats will go get the money for you. Oh, be pissed off. Be angry. Latinos, Asians, whatever. Same thing. Doesn't matter. All right. Then they tell the women, oh my God, the patriarchy, the penis people. Oh, we should kill them all. They're oppressing you. The wage gap. Never mind. Do what you want. You know what you should do instead of majoring in engineering or accounting and something that would actually close the wage gap? Why don't you majoring in bitching about the wage gap? Major in women's studies, major in activism, major in gender studies, major in feminism. Oh my God, the wage gap didn't close. Get a master's. It still didn't close. Oh my God, men are such horrible creatures. Like, that's what they tell everyone. It's their identity. What, you think they weren't going to pick this up on white people too? Oh my God, that person over there is normal. You're not normal. I'm not. No, look at how sad and pathetic you are. Aren't you anxious right now? Kind of, a little bit. Yeah, you have a disability. You need to talk to Marxist therapists. Here, take some drugs. Teachers don't have to deal. Are you a boy that wants to go outside and play? Oh my God, we need to shoot you. You have a mental disorder. Here's some drugs. Really? What was it last year? What was it? A fifth of Gen Zers in high school claimed that they were not straight. Lord knows the breakdown between men. I guarantee it was like maybe 20% men. No, not to, it'd have to be probably 10% men, 30% women, right? Because it was edgy. Like just as kids will wear Cavaricci or brand name or do their hair a certain way, they will take on political identities you give them to be popular. It has nothing to do with who they actually are. It's just cool and current thing. And now you people are, oh my God, that's their identity, is that they're on antidepressant? No shit. Did you give them something better to do? No, we just told them to hate group of people over there and not do anything and vote Democrat because we get money from group of people over there. And then give it to them. And they should major in they should major in white collar panhandling. Well, no wonder they're so depressed. Did you tell the women to be fat too and the men to be pussies? Yeah, we told them to all be Democrats. I wonder why they're sad. I really wonder. By the time we see them, they're convinced they have a neurodevelopmental disorder. What's driving this trend? Yes, what is driving the trend? Well, the way conditions like ADHD, autism, and anxiety get talked about online, the place where most young people first learn about these conditions, is probably a contributing factor. Are you going to mention teachers? Online creators tend to paint a very broad picture of the conditions they describe. A quick scroll of TikTok reveals creators labeling everything as always wearing headphones to being bad at managing your time to doodling in class is a sign that somebody may have a diagnosable condition. According to these videos, who isn't disabled? The result is a deeply distorted view of normal. If ever struggling to focus, when everyone's disabled, no one will be. And when everyone's a super, no one will be. Do you remember when we had normal people making movies that were just good, straight up flicks like that? Or experiencing boredom is a sign you have ADHD. The implication is that a normal, non-disabled person has essentially no problems. A neurotypical person, The thinking goes, can churn out a 15-page paper with no hint of procrastination, maintain perfect focus during a boring lecture, and never experience social anxiety or awkwardness. I wonder where they get this. Boredom? Social anxiety? I wonder, oh, is that school? Oh, are we going to mention teachers? Are we going to Reason Magazine? Come on, you're a libertarian. Are we going to mention teachers? This view is buffeted by the current way many of these conditions are diagnosed. As Horowitz points out, when the latest issue of the DSM, the manual psychiatrists used to falsely diagnose patients, was released in 2013, it significantly lowered the bar for ADHD diagnosis so they can make more money because they're whores. When the definition of these conditions is set so liberally, it's easy for psychologists to go and pay off their student loan debts, but they never really had a real job anyway. It's easy to imagine a highly intelligent Stanford student becoming convinced that any sign of academic struggle proves they're learning disabled, and any problems making friends are a sign they have autism. Hey, I got a better idea. What if dads had some balls again? Kid, Dad, I got autism. No, you don't. Knock that fucking shit off right now. But you think my kids would have autism? I don't mean like an actual legit, like Rain Man, right? Like legit. You think any of this shit would fly in my house? Dad, I think I'm gay. You're 11, dear. Shut up. Let's revisit this around when you're 14 or 15, all right? I love you either way. And then also, give me your backpack. Let me see what's in here. Let me see everything your teacher's been giving you. Okay, no, your teacher told you were gay because your teacher is a socialist piece of scum. All right. If you're gay, you're gay. But why don't we just wait? Okay. Let's just see where this goes. And I swear to God, if you're faking for attention, I have failed. And if you need attention, I got an idea. It's called work. We're going to go and do manual labor. And you're going to find purpose and meaning in that. And after putting in 18 retaining walls and wrenching on cars and going for hikes, if you still feel that you're gay at the end of all that, okay, cool. But Becky said she's gay, and I don't know. Well, you're done hanging out with Becky. I guess we're moving. Risk aversion, too, seems like a compelling factor driving bright students to claim learning disabilities. Our nation's most promising students are also the least assured, so afraid of failure, bad grades, poorly received essay, they may take any sign of struggle as diagnosable condition. Are we going to mention teachers? They're told they have a mental problem by their teachers. It's part of the Democrat playbook. They can't have one kid coming out being normal, functional, self-supporting. Because if they did, the Democrats wouldn't have a vote. They need these people to think they're victims and oppressed by the people without whatever condition or trait it is. Am I the only one that sees this in the playbook? It's been happening for 25 years. Do any of you see it? As long as you don't have to raise your children, though, right? Oh. A few decades ago, a student who entered college and found the material harder than master and their time less easily managed than in high school would have been seen as relatively normal. Now, every time she picks up her phone, a barrage of influencers is clamoring to tell her she has ADHD. Discomfort and difficulty are no longer perceived as typical parts of growing up. That's true. In this context, it's easy to read the rise of academic accommodations among the nation's most intelligent students. They're not intelligent. I mean, they might be intelligent, but they're lazy. The number one thing you do with a brand new computer is you put a good operating system on it. And you guys are putting victimhood, whiner, complaining little bitch 1.0 on it for all these kids. And then you wonder why oh my God, the computer. Dude, you got to put in a new operating system. Blink it out. Remove Democrat teacher 1.0. Remove that and put in empirical, logical human being 1.0. With work ethic upgrade. Okay. Think of the absurdity of all those different variations of genders. And what there was like 30 of them or something like that. Like just bored kids in college or high school. Oh my God, let's come up with different signs. Oh my God. It's astrology. Thank you, dear Lord in heaven. Thank you for having all the American fathers in this country be spineless, ballless, fucking bags of pus. Dear God in heaven, if it were not for their laziness and failure to raise their children, being afraid of their teachers or the work or their wives and the fear of divorce, I would have to work a real job. Thank you for sending your tortured, miserable, mentally ill children into the world so that they might suffer and be so desperate to find the truth, they come and hire a place called Asshole Consulting, assholeconsulting.com. Dear God, thank you very much for this opportunity for me to have this right now that I'm doing as my job so that I might be able to go and hike. And was just recently informed this morning by my girlfriend while having coffee in bed that it is indeed Saturday, but it doesn't matter to me because all days are Saturday to me. Dear Lord in heaven, thank you for having the past 3 generations of American parents abuse their children through neglect by outsourcing the raising to teachers and having these kids completely fucked up and miserable that they are so desperate they need me. Amen. It still pisses me. It's like, what would you rather have? A world that worked normally, but you don't have this fun job, or you get the fun job, but it's all fucked up. I try not to, I try to not let it piss me off, but it's so fucking angering. It's so angering. No, you don't have autism. You just have 2 shitty parents and 13 years of K through 12 shitty teachers. Sorry, kid, that's what it is. An increasing number of female clients I now have, which is good because they're like, I just did a video like be thin. There it is, ladies. There's your number one dating advice. Be thin. There's a lot more to it than that, right? Especially if you want long term. But if you want, it's going to help that you be thin, guys. You want to know how you get the girls? The only one thing you can do is go to the gym. Be strong. Still to this day, I don't like the way you said that. If you shut the fuck up. Go be fat. Fuck you. Oh my God, my feelings are hurt. And that was a bit aggressive. And shut the fuck up and just go get a yeast infection, lady. Get the fuck out of here. You're going to use it for anything else. Get the fuck out. Why don't you just tie your tubes now? Just get the fuck out of here. In this context, it's easy to read the rise of academic accommodations, a risk aversion endemic in the striving children of the upper middle class. For most of the elite college students who receive them, academic accommodations are protection against failure and self-doubt. Unnecessary accommodations are a two-front form of cheating. They give you an unjust leg up on your fellow students, but they will allow you to cheat yourself out of genuine intellectual growth. Well, here's the other. Here another thing that this is really what it is. And seriously, listen to me, future employers of America. Although I know you don't go based on meritocracy, but future employers of America, these rich kids, the Ivy League, they ain't pushing up their own weights no more. Back in the day, you could argue they did. And I always talk because it's every leftist, every Democrat. I want to help. I want to help. I want to help. Assuming they're good people, right? Their intentions are pure. You Democrats who are well-intended, you need to realize, this is the analogy, you have some scrawny child, right? And you want your scrawny child to get strong and lift and be strong. So you tell your son to go to the gym and to lift weights. But what a typical Democrat will do is you will go get the taxpayer. You won't use your own money. You'll go steal money from the taxpayer and pay weightlifting assistants who the kid just holds onto the bar while he's doing a bench press, and then other people lift the weight for him. There's no resistance. There's no effort. There's no work, like in the actual physical mention of the word work, like the physical formula. And therefore, the kid's not going to build muscles. And it's the same thing here. You're doing all the lifting for these kids. Of course, you're going to give them the degree because of grade. You're going to give them, and now you're sending out Ivy League graduate who should have the mental horsepower to do a lot of things, but don't because you did all the lifting for him. You're sending out David Hogue's noodling arm. Whoa! I think Hogue went to Harvard too. Hogue, whatever his name is. Mr. Let me capitalize on the death of my students that I attended school with. That's all that's happening. And so when these kids graduate, they're going to be worthless. Not as human beings, but economic. They're not going to be able to do anything. But at least we didn't have to have a sit down and come to Jesus talk, right? At least no one had to parent up or father up. Thank God. Oh, yeah, maybe you got a master's degree, son. Maybe we didn't hire enough weightlifters for him to lift the weights. If you mask learning deficiencies with extra time on tech, soothe social anxiety by foregoing presentations, and neglect time management skills with deadline extensions, you forge a path to better grades, but you'll also find yourself less capable of tackling the challenges in adult life. Not to mention, these are the type that will always file a complaint. I had a buddy got brought up to HR because, of course, he did, because some idiotic moron complained. He put 2 question marks at the end of his question. It's like, oh, fuck off. Like, these, you can't go and work in the real world, which has to deal with the real world, no matter how much businesses try to avoid that, because you're emotionally stunted, and every little thing is a problem or a crisis. Back in the day, men could ask women out at work, which, maybe that's not the place for it. Like, if you look at it objectively, but now that's such a threat. Oh my God. It can get you fired. It doesn't always get you fired. Usually there's some kind of clause like it has to be repeated, right? Hey, John asked me out. I said no, but he asked me out again. Okay, all right. But sometimes it's one strike and you're out. It- it- you're always looking to be like, you grow up in this precious little privileged soft bubble, and you have no resilience to normal interaction of humans. You go file a complaint, or I need a panic day. I need a, like, I'll give you a perfect example. All you, like, both times Trump got elected, you guys had to take a personal day. Fuck off. Oh my God. Yeah, you pussies. You weaklings. What? So an election didn't go your way. What? It's the end of the world? You can't show up to work? Let's go to the super chats. Dre. Hey, it's our least favorite black person, Dre. $2. Cappy's a proud, famous Carlson alumni. I might be a famous Carlson School alumni, all 3 or 4 people that went there, but it is a horrible school. Do not send your kids to the Carlson School of Management. Do not send your kids to the University of Minnesota. Send them go to trade school, go to tech school, join the military. Do not go to the Carlson School of Management. It is a lower mid business school that, like all business schools, teach you nothing. Dre, again, $2. Cappy is too short to be a microeconomist. Good one, man. Mazatol, $2. Cappy earned his MA from Wasamatta U. Yeah, Rocky and Bullwinkle. Are you that old to even know that, Mazatol? Ass Bucket, $5. U of M says being white is a pandemic. Yeah. The U of M, the Minnesota Teachers Association, the labor union, they have like white pandemic. You got to fight whiteness in their instructions. But that's all right, Minnesota fathers. Don't you dare stand up to your Minnesota wives. Good schools, my parents. I wouldn't want you ever, like, oh God, I love watching Minnesota fail. That one's a little bit easier to watch because I had to deal with those people for a quarter century. And I'm like, oh God, you deserve everything. And by the way, they will reelect Waltz, and they will continue to let in immigrants from whichever country, doesn't matter, so that they can give them more of their money. The Minnesota taxpayer will always be bailing out, will always be paying other people their tax money. It'll be beautiful. No taxpayer funds should be given to them. No one should or needs to be attending these places of education. Yeah, but what else are white kids from the suburbs supposed to do? Like, it's the college experience, bro. I got to go to the school where they're going to teach me to hate myself. Just watch Minnesota. It's a fun, like, it should. Maybe I got to write a book about it, but someone should document Minnesotans like a National Geographic special, like you're studying the orangutans of the forest or whatever. They're a fascinating group of people where it's like, well, I've never seen people willingly vote themselves into slavery and be so self-brainwashed to be against yourself. 10 raised tube, $5. In your opinion, how can AI be used in accounting? Well, I mean, it can, it's not, it already is in a certain way, like TurboTax, it's software. Okay. At the end of the day, AI is just really good software. Well, maybe not even really good software. And taxes and accounting is following rules. When you have a rules-based thing, you can automate it, right? So you have TurboTax, which takes all the rules from the tax code, and then they have a formula. And it's okay, you enter your data here, and we automatically fill in the 1040 form for you, and we spit out the tax, and you could sign it, and off it goes. So AI, meaning software. God, how long has TurboTax been around? Like 30 years? It's been around for a while. So you can use it to automate some things. A lot of people think it's going to be used to automate bookkeeping. And I'm like, okay. Then that means in order for you to eliminate all accounting jobs, then everything has to be digital. All the data entry has to be digital. So that means your credit cards have to work all the time. They have to be categorized correctly on your credit card. And then it can immediately port and dump into a program, AI or not, that calculates it, does the debits and credits, generates a balance sheet, generates an income statement, generates a cash flow. I don't see AI being that good. And I don't see people capturing all expenses and all purchases and all records have to be digital and put in. If it's not automated, it's not done by computers, and it can't be, by the way. The credit, you're expecting so many companies and industries within the United States to perfect their product, right? At Capital One, my business credit card doesn't work. So now I got to use my personal credit card. So there's always going to be the need for human interaction because the system relies on too many other systems that are just not perfected and never will be perfected because humans are lazy sacks of shit. So there'll always be data entry. Then accounts also have to make the decision. Are we going to depreciate this 3 years or going to depreciate it 5 years? The robot can't make that decision. You got to say, are we going to section 179? Like what assumptions are going to go in to our bookkeeping? What terms of the purchasing? What if the terms change for accounts payable? It can streamline, right? If you're an accountant, yes, you can use AI. But the thing with accounting, especially bookkeeping, it has to be to the penny. That's the whole point of double entry bookkeeping is like you balance everything. You make sure there's money not missing. And AI is just too prone to make errors that's not going to balance in the end. I just don't see it. 10 raised to 5, which, by the way, guys, if you're interested, I have a course called The World's Greatest Accounting Career. It teaches you about going and getting a career in accounting. If you're interested, and you might be, because I still to this day think it's one of the best careers if you want to become self and remotely employed. Although you can work for someone else if you'd like, not the big four, though. My first accounting teacher remembers the big 8 accounting firms. Yeah, I remember it too. I am that old. The American Noble, $5. ChatGPT Pro with proper prompting and proper uploaded PDF file ebooks beats plenty of the college graduates for accounting and finances. I use it. In what capacity? I'm curious, in what capacity? Like for bookkeeping, for accounting and finances. So I think AI can, if you have, now they could do finance. It definitely could do finance, like financial analysis, because it can take all the, and they already have software for this too, underwriting software. You plug in the tax returns and it spits it out. Heck, I programmed a model one time to do that. So it already exists. And yes, you can say, okay, what is your debt service coverage ratio? What's your tie ratio? What's your debt to assets, kind of all those different ratios that go into analysis. So yes, you can streamline and automate financial analysis. But yeah, and what for accounting, and those are two separate things. There's accounting and finances, like creating balance sheets and income statements. I don't know I wouldn't trust it. Financial analysis, yes. Yeah, you could do automated underwriting. 10 race tube, $5. Is President Reagan responsible for the mergers of accounting firms in the late 80s? God, I don't know. I don't generally not. I don't, unless it's like Obamacare, right? Okay, I'm going to purposely create a law that changes this particular industry. The 80s, I'd have to go back and refresh my economic history. I think that was just, hey, why have all these generals spread across 8 armies when we can merge them into 4 armies and fire a bunch of generals? But we don't need that many generals. It's there was already a financial incentive to go in there and do mergers and acquisitions, but I don't think it was Ronald Reagan who passed a law, unless I'd have to go back and look. The accounting merger law, or I don't know. But no, I rarely is a president responsible directly or indirectly for what goes on in the economy, unless, of course, they did pass some kind of law specific to that industry. Like right now, whether you guys know this or not, Trump, I think, got rid of the CAFE standards for the auto industry. That is, if it sticks around, and it's going to take a while, that will lead to cheaper cars for young people. Because now you don't have to, the idea was to get higher fuel efficiency standards. But what it ended up doing instead is it just basically gutted and prevented auto manufacturers from making cheap, affordable cars because there wasn't enough profit margin on them because they had to do so much shit to the engine to meet the fuel efficiency. They just went with trucks and SUVs. You can look at that. McGoy, $2. Colorado school system brainwashed my sister. Yep. You need families, you need fathers, and you just got to stop sending your kids to these schools. Look, no civilization, this country or another, deserves to survive if you cannot reject brainwashing. I didn't believe that brainwashing was that effective of a tool, and now I'm very convinced. Like, if you guys can't realize the teachers of the United States, very few of which ever worked a real job, if you can't realize they're brainwashing you and turning you into good little obedient socialists, and no one intervenes and dad isn't there, you don't deserve to survive. Because at the end of the day, what Democrat, leftist, socialists, call it whatever you want, it's parasitism. It's, I don't have to work, which if you get enough people say, I don't have to work, you're not making your own goddamn food or housing. Why housing so expensive? If you can't support yourself, your culture ends. And if you fall for that trick, the free money, the free shit, oh my God, I got the autism, give me money, please. If there's more parasites than producers, it's over. Yeah, and if your sister got brainwashed like this, well, where was her dad? Where were the friends? The American Oval, $5. We talk about lefties a lot, but to be fair, a lot of right-wing people are degenerates too. Long-term and critical thinking is going the way of the... Yeah, no, trust me. I think I even did a video slamming on, fake poser Republicans who collect welfare. There's this couple I know out in Phoenix who just, oh my God, a despicable couple. We're a Republican. Like, no, you're not. I mean, maybe you vote Republican, but your life is that of a Democrat. And then I know Democrats who bust their ass off and then vote to take their own money away. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? I just feel that paying 40% taxes isn't enough, so I like to pay 50%. Gerald Binnicker, $5. Wisdom is greater than smart or educated. Yes, you could be the smartest person ever, but if you have no practicality, it doesn't matter. Ass Bucket, $2. You need to end your shows with that new prayer. Colin, $2. Courageous communication, real Cornell MBA class. Really? Courageous communication? The fuck out of here. What 28-year-old girl boss PhD know-nothing came up with that? Courageous communication. Fuck off. Ken Rose, $2. Hello, Ken. Ass Bucket again, $2. Dude, what about the UMM sports ball, bro? Dude, the U of M. God, it's been 30 years since I went to college. I don't think they've ever won a championship. I'll say it again. Remove academics. The University of Minnesota is just like the most boring, worthless, unmentionable Big Ten school. Their sports win nothing. The architecture is ugly. Their programs are mediocre. It just, you could remove the University of Minnesota and no one would care. It's just this, it truly is a government school. It's just, it's not good at anything at all. McGoy, $2. AI won't help with tax avoidance. So it's imagine that. Keep in mind, AI, AI is programmed by leftists, right? Because you got Black George Washington. AI, I can't wait. I can't wait for those main 4 companies. They're doing their circular financing. What is it? Is it Oracle, NVIDIA, and something else? OpenAI. I can't wait for all of them. Just like it's going to be 1998, 1999, they start failing to make a profit and the investors have enough and they pull the plug. I can't wait for that to collapse. You don't understand. No, I understand. Dude, I've been through this like 4 or 5 times. Please shut up. Don't tell me EBITDA. Don't tell me price to sales. Where's the fucking money, Lebowski? But you see, we got a lot of computes. See, if we get more computes, then we get more computes, and then computes create computes, and then AI run rampant. It'll take over the world, but then we got the computes. Yeah, okay. I can't eat a compute. Ass bucket, $2. University of Minnesota is average, just like that. No, it's below average. And it's not because I hate Minnesota. The University of Minnesota is a below average school. It's just, University of Pennsylvania, at least you get like Wharton. Trying to think of another. University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign is notable. It's a notable STEM school. What is the U of M known for? I mean, yeah, they got accredited degrees, but it's just nothing. It's a Soviet style looking campus in the Arctic tundra, no less. It's cold, it's miserable. There's nothing interesting or exciting going on. They're not a leader in any field, no matter what they're going to tell you. It's just a miserable campus full of miserable people with sub-performing sports, students, it's just below average. McGoy, $2. AI goes actual Indians. That's the replacement. Yeah, I'd like to see that too. Go. You know what? Outsource all the jobs in the United States. Outsource them all. Bro, we outsourced it to India and the Philippines and Pakistan, wherever, right? You outsourced it all. And then you come back. No, here, buy our product. And we'll be like, with what money? Oh, I'd like to, but you see, I did what you corporal bros said. I got my MBA and went to school for 6 years, and then you didn't pay me a living wage. Matter of fact, you sent my job overseas. So now we can't afford anything, let alone rent. And you want us to buy a Bentley? You want us to buy a Range Rover? You want us to buy a whatever product you're selling us? No. I'd like to, but I can't. All right, that's it. Below my Amazon affiliate link, you can go to assholeconsulting.com/Amazon. Do all your Amazon shopping there for Christmas and on into the future. Use your computer. Do not use your app. You don't have to. You just click on the link, do your shopping, pay for your shit. When do I log in? After you click on the link. You click on the link, you can log in, do your shopping, or you can click on the link, do your shopping, and then log in. It does, as long as you click on the link first on your computer, not your phone. We'll see you guys later, Toodles.